everyone, so welcome back to Harleigh's 4-month update. So Harleigh turned 4 months on the 2nd of August, so I'm a bit late making this video. It is currently the 18th of August, but I've just been really busy, and this week actually the boys are off with their dad's side of the family, so it's just been me, Harleigh and her daddy this week, which has been really different, a lot quieter because it's the summer holidays right now. So yeah, first and foremost, here's Harleigh. Look, Harleigh. Hi. Harleigh is doing really well. Growing. She is still really small. Obviously I don't think the camera really shows up her size. I had her weighed yesterday. She is £12 11 ounces, so she is still in the 9th centile. She has been basically the 9th centile her entire life so far, but her head has now grown out of the 9th centile and she is now sitting nicely in the 25th centile, so she doesn't quite have a pea head anymore. She's very observant and looking around at everything. Yeah. So in this past month, there has been quite a few changes. She can now roll both ways, so she can roll from her front to her back. I've got her red book here, so I actually obviously wrote down when these things happened. So she rolled from front to back first. And she rolled front to back on the 17th of July at 15 weeks and 1 day. And then she rolled back to front on the 31st of July at 17 weeks and 1 day. So there was only 2 weeks in it that, you know, she did all the rolling, and as of now, she prefers rolling from her back to her front. And sometimes she does get stuck on her front, or she just gets fussy and whingy, and then she just doesn't she's given up. She doesn't want to play ball anymore, so she just whinges and cries. She is laughing now. It's sometimes quite difficult to get a laugh out of her. She has to be in the right mood frame. What else can we say about you? I can see her bottom 2 teeth. They haven't broken through the skin, but they are there at the bottom, and she is still dribbling tons. Her sleeping, she still sleeps through the night like a champ, but in this past month especially, she has begun, I think it's just her personality, I think, more than anything, coming out. She knows what she wants, and when she doesn't want to be sat down anymore, she fusses. And as soon as you pick her up, if she's like this, she's absolutely fine. She loves to be held and sat upright. We are going to be investing in some sort of jumperoo or something like that, as she just loves to be upright, and she loves, like, she's currently like standing on my legs, obviously with me supporting her. So we think that a jumperoo will obviously really benefit her, and she'll enjoy that more. She, in the last few days, like in the last sort of, I'd say, week, she has now finally learnt to like grab onto toys, like on purpose. See if I can show. Obviously the sofa, the giraffe. Are you gonna hold it? Sometimes she does reach out for toys, but most of the time I put them in her hand and she straight away brings them towards her mouth, just like so. And she gets very frustrated if they don't do what she wants them to do, because most of the time she brings them up to her head, or, you know, things like that. But she has got various toys. This is her little bag that we got her. It's got her name on the front, and it's got loads of toys. So we've got like this lame snake, we've got obviously Sophie. What else have we got in here? A little bag of tricks. Nibby keys, the Nibby bug teether, the smaller Sophie giraffe. We've got the little handheld Bright Starts rattly things. Ugh. we've got a little rattle and this little nubby teether. This is perfect for when they just start grabbing, and these greeny bits they absolutely love. Oh, and this is by far her favourite. I bought this in Boots beginning of the week. It's a Bright Starts crinkly book. It comes in 2 different colours. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a girl. Sorry about that, the camera died, so I've had to charge it, so it's a little bit later in the day, so if the lighting's really bad, I apologise. So yeah, we was talking about her little book, which she absolutely loves. I got this from Boots. I think it was like £5 something, but it's got 2 little teether sections on the front page, and she absolutely loves it. Don't you? Mesmerised. Yeah, so other than her weight, she hasn't really grown lengthwise, I don't think, that much. She is in majority of clothes she's in 0 to 3. She can fit in some 3 to 6 month clothing, but it is absolutely ginormous and baggy on her. This is Primark, comes up really small, I feel. This is actually a 3 to 6 month outfit. But obviously, as you can tell, it is really baggy. And yeah, so clothing wise, nappies, she's in size 3. We're using Pampers, and they have got lots of room, but I don't like having tight. You just vomited all over me. I hope you haven't. Yeah, she's got plenty of wear still in the nappies, because I don't like to have tight nappies on my babies. So yeah, she's in size 3 for that. We are, with the teething, we are using teething gel, and obviously, like I showed you, lots and lots of teething toys. And she's obviously at that age now where she's just at the cusp of wanting to need like stimulation. So she likes watching toys. She's just discovered her hands. She'll sit and stare at her hands. And she has got a very, very minor case of separation anxiety. When it's majority me, like when I leave the room, she gets like upset. But it does happen obviously as well with her dad. And she just doesn't like to be left alone and not stimulated. But I'm not one of those mums to sort of pander to you know, a baby's, you know, every need, because, you know, unfortunately I do have 2 other children. I do have things to get done around the house. I cannot spend my day, as much as I'd like to, you know, sitting and cooing at her all the time, which, you know, is very easily done. But yeah, her hair, she hasn't really got very much hair. She has got cradle cap, I'm not sure if you can see. She's got not much on the back either. Very, very blue eyes. So she looks the spitting image of her dad. I'll try and put a picture in. She looks the absolute spitting image of her dad. And I think that's basically everything that I can say about Harleigh this month. I feel like I'm at that stage now where the months are sort of going really fast. Oh, another one I've forgotten is about feeding. We're still 100% exclusively breastfeeding. There was one occasion a couple of weeks ago where she was just screaming. And when I say screaming, she was bloody murder screaming. We don't know what was wrong with her. I was that desperate. I felt like my breasts were very empty. She was constantly feeding off of me. Whether she was going through a growth spurt, I don't know, but she was constantly feeding off of me, and it was getting me really, really distressed. That's one thing I find that I just don't handle very well, is when she gets inconsolable. So when she does her, like, you know, screaming fits, and then I've got the other 2 children going, Mum, 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 so-and-so did this, blah, blah, blah. Or if they're crying as well, it's just... Okay, yeah, I don't cope very well when she's screaming a lot. She loves when her daddy comes home. She gets really excited, and she definitely is like recognising people a lot better. Obviously she knows me, and she knows her dad, and she knows her brothers, and obviously family members that she sees more often, she's starting to like recognise a lot quicker. But yeah, so when she did have this crying fit, we didn't really know what to do. We tried everything, you know, all the tick list of things like, is she wet? Is she in pain? Is it her teeth? And in the end, we actually ended up giving her her first ever bottle, and also happened to be, so it's the first time her taking a bottle and the first time she had any formula. She ended up having 3 ounces of formula, Cow and Gate formula from like those ready-made cartons. She downed 3 ounces, and then ever since then she has point blank refused to take a bottle. We tried the man bottles because, you know, we do have a sterilizer, but there's no real need to have a sterilizer at this stage. But yeah, she took the bottle and I was in floods of tears, because I basically felt like I had been starving her, because, so yeah, she had this formula and she took it, and then since then she hasn't taken a bottle. She will not take a bottle. Obviously, the day after, my supply was back up and there was no issues, and I really do feel like it's to where she'd been eating so much during the day, like I just didn't have enough time to produce enough milk to her. She has this thing where if she doesn't get it there and then, she just goes berserk. She doesn't like waiting for my letdown. So yeah, other than that, I think I've covered all the areas of what she can do, feeding, and all of that. So yeah, it won't be long till she's 5 months, which is kind of crazy. Life with 3 is interesting. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not like I thought it was going to be bad, but stress wise it's not been so bad. It is difficult with the summer holidays, although that hasn't really stopped us. She has done many trips to the cinema. She is an absolute child of gold. She will sit through films absolutely fine, sometimes better than other children. And she's quiet and sits there really content, and she's either asleep or she's sat up watching the screen. She's actually going to town on her little book right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'll show you. What are you doing? Do you like it? Highly recommend these books if you haven't got one. Love the sound of this. Isn't that nice? So yeah, I'll try and add a few clips in of like her rolling and things, and maybe some like progressive pictures from over the past month. But yeah, that's basically everything, and I'll see you guys for month 5. Okay, bye guys. You clever girl. Are you clever girl? Yeah. Clever girlie. Ooh.